Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing a unboxing and review of the Sky Viper s1350 HD video stunt drone. I've never done one of these before. The reason why I decided to do this one is because I can't find anything about this drone on the internet. I went to Target looking for the Sky Viper video surveillance drone that was on clearance for $63.99, and this one was sitting on the shelf for $69.99. So I figured for $7 more, we'll give it a try. It says it's got some pretty cool features here. Records in 720p high def video. It's got auto launch, auto land, and auto hover. Hopefully those work. I have my reservations, we'll see. And it says improved control range, direct drive motors, improved thrust to weight ratio, and you can fly it indoors and outdoors. The reason that I decided to get this brand is I did purchase the s1350, which doesn't have a camera on it, and it was a pretty great drone. We have an indoor gym at my work, and I flew that thing into the wall about 100 times at full speed, and it is definitely durable. The trim controls work really good, and it was the first drone I've ever got. I've flown a couple since, and so far it's the easiest one to fly that I have experienced. So we'll go ahead and take it out of the box and see what it came with. Alright, so before I even take it out of the box, the first thing that jumps out at me is this drone is about half the size of the s1350 that I had before. So I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but it is quite small. Alright, let's get it out of the box. Okay, so I got everything out of the box, and here's the drone. Let's see if I hold it in my hand, maybe it'll give you an idea. I don't have big hands and I don't have little hands, so it's definitely a smaller drone than I thought it was going to be. It's pretty heavy. I'm assuming that's because of the battery. The body is not very heavy. What I do like about it, and I'm not sure if you can see this, a lot of these drones make you connect the battery in order to turn it on. This one actually has an on-off switch, so that's kind of nice. The LEDs are these lights right here. A lot of times they put them under the motor and they're harder to see. These are much bigger, nice flashing red and green lights to let you know which way's forward. So I thought that was pretty cool. The other things you get in the box are quick start guide. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's one page. Then there is a manual that goes into depth more about how to adjust your trim. The drone came pre-installed with a 4GB SD card, micro SD I guess. You have your card reader, the charger, which only charges via USB, and then interestingly enough it came with these Pro control sticks. So if you didn't like these, you can take them off and replace them. I'm not sure what makes them Pro. If you know, maybe you can tell me. But I have two of those if I ever decide to use them. It did come with a couple of extra propeller blades, which I can't find right now. But it looks just like the ones that are attached there. You get two extra green ones, two extra black ones. If it's like my 670, the green and black have to be put where the green and black ones are, and they actually are specific to left and right, so you have to make sure if you're replacing the blades to put the right ones on the right side, otherwise it's going to fly really funny. Alright, so, let's look at the remote. So this looks pretty much exactly like the remote that I had before. You have a stunt button in the left corner. Over here you have a photo button for still photos and a video button to shoot a video. The normal control sticks that come with all of these drones. Here's your auto takeoff, your auto land. Sorry, those are over here. And then over here controls your altitude. Now I did read if you're going to be flying this, if you use auto takeoff and auto land, then you can no longer use this stick to control the height of the drone. You would use altitude up and altitude down. You can turn that off and it goes into what's called Pro mode, and then you can use this stick to control it. You do have 3 levels of sensitivity. My experience with my other one was that 1 is super easy to fly, 2's the most fun, and 3, the thing is out of control. Like, if you try to turn, it does flips. It's pretty sensitive, but okay. And then over here you have your trims for front and back, and left and right. Over here, if it's rotating clockwise or counterclockwise, you would use these trims to cancel that out. So let's get it charged up, and hopefully we can take it out and fly it. Okay guys, so I just got back from flying the drone, and I would like to start out by saying this is probably not going to be a great drone to fly outside. The controls were as responsive as the 670, but because the drone is lighter, you have to fight against the wind a lot more than you would with the bigger size. With that being said, range was an issue. Both times that I flew it, it went out of range relatively soon, which brings me to my biggest complaint about the drone. All drones that I've used in the past, once you get out of range, it kills the motors, and it just falls out of the sky, and then you just go find it. This one, when it runs out of range, it does not kill the motors. It activates auto hover mode, which in my case, I couldn't walk close enough to it to get back in range to take control of the drone, because there was a construction site and a school in the way. So I watched it hover, trying to fight against the wind, as it basically just blew off into the distance, and I was 100% sure that I had just watched $70 disappear like a fart in the wind. I walked through the construction site and around the school, and ended up finding it hundreds of yards away from where I was standing when I lost it, and it had actually luckily cleared the school, and I found it upside down in the grass. So I was very lucky that I got it back. However, I do not think I'll be flying this drone outside again. You basically have to follow it like it were on a leash if you don't want it to go out of range and activate that auto hover mode. Some of the big selling features of the drone that caused me to buy it were the auto takeoff, auto land, and auto hover. My opinion is that none of those three work, very well. Auto takeoff, it does fly up in the air. You don't get to control how far, and when you're using auto takeoff and auto land, you don't actually have control of the drone. So you can't bring it back down if it starts to go too high. You can take control of it in manual control mode by pressing a couple of buttons at the same time, but if you're panicking because the drone's about to fly into a tree, chances are you're not going to remember what those commands are in time, and the drone's just going to fly away, or it's going to get stuck in a tree. The camera, I'll upload a video at the end. It was the only usable footage I got, and it's right before I lost control of the drone and it blew away. The camera's not good. It's wavy, like I've seen in the video surveillance drone videos that people have uploaded. It doesn't look like they've fixed that problem with the camera. So all in all, I would say this is a pretty cool drone if you're going to be flying it indoors. The controls are extremely tight. It's easy to fly as long as you don't have any wind to contend with. It's durable, just like the S670 is. However, if you're going to be flying your drone outside, I would recommend finding the S670. They're much cheaper. I've had mine for about a year now, and with the exception of the camera, I like everything on that drone better than this 1350. So, with that being said, I will upload the video that I was able to salvage from the wreckage, and you guys can decide for yourself. I apologize if there are any mistakes in this video. This is the first one I've ever made. I'll probably never do another one, but I just figured, there's nothing on the internet right now about this S1350. So I figured I'd at least give you guys a chance to see what it looks like when you're taking it out of the box, and then I attempted to go fly it, and I was very, very lucky that I ever got it back at the end of the flight. So, have a good day, guys.